My name is Barbara Jensen. I am the Communication and Marketing Executive for the Gautrain in Johannesburg, or in the Gauteng province of South Africa. Gautrain we have two services. We have a airport link between our international airport in Johannesburg, our Tambo International Airport, and Sandton, which is a dedicated service. It stops at two stations, Marlborough Station, where people can get on and off for the airport link, and then Sandton is the terminal station. We also have a commuter section which runs between Johannesburg Park Station, the centre of Johannesburg, to the centre of Pretoria. What we had to do is that we had to ensure that the customer have a similar customer experience from the train to the buses. We realized with Gautrain, when we planned Gautrain, that we have to, because we don't have the densities that European cities or American cities have, or Asian cities, we had to look at a door-to-door solution. So that entailed getting a bus to and from stations. However, we could not depend on existing public transport. Even for us in Gautrain, the bus transport, the bus operator is the same than the train operator or the rail operator. And again, that was to guarantee similar satisfaction. And it also it increased your brand equity, because people's brand experience stay the same. They get on a Gautrain train, they get on a Gautrain bus, or they park in a Gautrain parking space. So we had to ensure the brand equity and customer experience. I think it's non-negotiable. I think, and again, Heathrow Express set the trend in terms of what you expect of a service like that, and the branding of the Heathrow Express. What we found in what we are doing in South Africa, because public transport in South Africa is a mode of force, it's not a mode of choice. So we had to give people a similar experience to what they would have in their car. So it's we have carpets on the floors, nice seats. And brand goes along with it. You know, people would say, I drive my BMW, I drive my Mercedes, my Volkswagen. They would like to say, I ride on the Gautrain. And what we find, and that's also how we try to position it, is that upwards mobility, that people aspire to use the Gautrain, and we actually find that happening. Successful beyond our expectations. However, we now have to convert that into long-term users and frequent users. We've recently, in June this year, introduced period passes, and that's starting to pick up quite considerably, people using the train on a regular basis. However, as with all other operations, and especially rail operations, we have to look at getting more people in off-peak onto our system. But yes, we were rather successful. And I think what is happening in South Africa is that people get a European or an overseas experience in their own country, because we usually the people that Gautrain is marketed for or aimed at, we only use public transport when we get overseas, because public transport in general is not very reliable or safe in South Africa. I very often sit on the Gautrain, and as I go to Pretoria, to the airport, I get this feeling and think, I'm in my own country. So, and I think that's what most people feel like, is that they get a superior first world class service in their own country, and they're very proud of the service, and that we like. We, with the current capacity or the current infrastructure we have, current rolling stock, we can carry about 100 to 4,000 people a day. We're averaging about 34,000 currently. And I know it seems small compared to some European figures or Asian figures, but for us it's quite a shift that took place.